Here we are.
What an entrance.
We're back.
Emotions, Will.
Emotions.
Part 2. So emotions are not problems to be solved, but signals to be attended to. Talk to me about fear. When was the last time you felt fearful of something?
It was January and February of this year where I couldn't pay my rent. Or I could, but it completely cleaned out all my savings. And if I didn't make enough. The following month, March, January was rough. And then February really cleared me out. And then I needed March to be a good month. Otherwise, I don't know what I'd do. Credit card my rent, which is not something I really want to do. I hate using credit. I've only got a credit card because I got one when I was 18 because it was free foreign transaction fees. So yeah, that was probably the last time I was truly fearful. And yeah, when you're in that moment, or when I'm in that moment, I felt very stressed. My chest felt tight, and I think it was a lack of options on what I could do, and I wanted everything just to be going well. But I think that those are the moments that, when you're self-employed, it's like most people would go, yeah, this isn't worth it, I'm just going to go and get a job. And I was right on that edge, because it's okay to justify that you can continue being self-employed when you're just about making rent, because you're I'm still paying my rent, I'm still doing everything. But when you can see that you have nothing left in the bank, it's this is where the soldiers are made, I guess, in terms of business and doing things. So yeah, that was probably the last time I felt fearful. What about you? When was the last time you were fearful?
Mine's slightly different to yours. I was in Zimbabwe, in Victoria Falls, and there's a bridge that goes across from Zimbabwe to Zambia, I think, if my geography serves. And the bridge goes over near where the falls are. You can do so much cool stuff in Vic Falls. It's very touristy. It's not Zimbabwe at all, but you can do bungee jumping, you can do whitewater rafting, you can do so many cool things. I did whitewater rafting, highly recommend. So much fun. But I was walking across the bridge and looking where people do the bungee jumping. I wasn't even bungee jumping, and the fear that I had, I'm scared of heights, but dude, I was panicking. My knees went weak. I just struggled to walk across the bridge because of the height and looking over.
Blimey.
That was the last time I felt fear, and it took over me. So we're talking about our emotions, and we both expressed something that we were fearful of recently. I want to talk about maybe what your perceptions were of emotions when you were younger and what they are now, and have they learned since we've gone into these podcasts. So on the subject of fear, has your view on fear changed from when you were younger, maybe as a young child, into adolescence, into adulthood?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I think I was only really scared of actual physical threats and scary films and things. But that's because as a child I perceived that if those things were threats in films, they were threats to me in person. As I've got older, or as anyone becomes older, you become more aware of financial stresses, and I think a lot of your problems become more psychological rather than physical. We're very lucky to live in England, and we're very lucky that we don't have bears that are just going to be walking down the street and ravage us to death. So I think we both live in a relatively safe town, city, whatever it is. So we're not under any immediate threats unless we go down one specific alley on the wrong night. It's very difficult to be in danger, which we're very lucky for. So our fears, I think, now are more psychological about our own aspirations and where we want to be, and then comparing ourselves to that person, and then thinking, oh, I'm not there. And now I've put so much pressure on myself, I'm scared to not achieve that because I'm already living there in my brain. So I think that's been the biggest shift. There's not many things that scare me generally anymore, because if it's psychological, I've acknowledged the fact it's psychological. So it's like, fear isn't the answer out of this. Logical thinking and pattern recognition are the ways out of this. So, for example, the money situation, January and February, that's a psychological fear. And maybe a physical fear, just because I wouldn't have somewhere to live. But realistically, I still have money in investments that I could take out if I wanted to. But that would kill me. Like, I think that would be worse than me actually going to get a job just to pay for it. Just, I don't touch those. And that has been my lifeline throughout my life. Or my investing life, I should say. So, yeah, I think when I was younger, it was more physical fears and threats that were a problem. Now it's more cerebral and psychological. So they can be, I think, if you can think your way into those fears, it's also very easy to just push them to one side because they're not real. It's all a fabrication.
I wonder if that's because when we're young, everything's new. We're taking in so much more information, we're absorbing so much, we're perceiving everything. And yeah, if something's new, maybe we have this ingrained thing to just be fearful of it. And maybe that's what's kept us safe. So do you think this emotion of fear now in this modern world keeps us safe? Does it serve us the same way it used to? Like you said, evolutionary psychology, fear probably kept us safe in the sense that if I hear, say we're out hunting, and we hear a rustling in a bush, if I'm fearful of that, or a bit of anxiety about that, I'm probably not going to go exploring. But that person that's maybe got less fear, less apprehension, and goes straight in, you never know what might be there. So when we're developing as a species, that probably kept us safe. Do you think that keeps us safe now?
I think as children, yes, because you need stronger signals that something's dangerous. For example, don't walk too close to the edge of that cliff because you will die. Like, that is a fear that you need, and it's there for a genuine reason. If we removed fear, then you'd just have people walking off all the time because, you know, they wouldn't panic, you know? Imagine you walking across that bridge in Zimbabwe not having any fear, you know? It would be almost worrying that you didn't feel fear, you know? The psychological fears are more interesting to me because they're not real, which they are real. You do genuinely feel scared and fearful, but they're a product of human as a species own making. Like, humans invented money. Money isn't in nature, you know? So if you're scared or fearful about money, it's not as real as a bear that's going to kill you.
But that reminds me, there's a quote from Seneca, which is, I suffer more in imagination than I do in reality. You're talking about psychological fears. These are things that we project to be scary, things that we've built up maybe a fear around in our heads. And I think it's very true that we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality, because in reality you've got logic, you've got the power of perception, you've got the ability to perceive the information around you, make sense of it, and explore it in a rational sense. But again, I think we've touched on throughout all of the emotions are sometimes not necessarily completely rational because it all comes up and it's your body's response to a stimulus that it doesn't understand, or a stimulus that is similar to something we've already experienced, and therefore the body produces that same emotion because it perceives it to be the same, or we need to have the same emotion. So last question on fear. Should we explore the emotion? Should we invite fear into our lives? Would that be beneficial? Would we grow from that? You know, I think there's some fears that I have that I categorically do not want to explore. I do not watch horror movies. They don't serve me. They would ruin my sleep. I'm not going to go out and actively invite that into my life. However, some fears I might, like heights. I've mentioned before, I am terrified of heights, but I've done activities out while traveling where heights are a factor. I've done hikes where you're looking over and like, oh my God. But that challenge of the fear, of the emotion, has allowed me to experience so much more than I ever thought possible. So should we invite the emotion into our life? If so, how much?
I'm with you on the horror films, by the way. I don't watch horror films. I
agree. Yeah.
I don't understand why you'd want, like, when you could watch something that makes you happy and laugh. Everyone always says, oh no, I'd always choose happiness over just being in constant fear. And that, well, no, because you watch horror films and they're not there to make you happy, you know, unless you're like a sadist. So certain fears, I think we do need fears because we need sense of accomplishment. But then it's sort of a grey area on is the sense of accomplishment because you got over the fear, or is the sense of accomplishment because you did something that was fundamentally difficult? But I think there's probably an element of both. So I think if you've got a fear, then what's the opposite emotion to fear? Because that's what you'd feel by conquering it. I would say the opposite to fear is maybe relief. That would probably make the most sense to me. So if you want more relief in your life, you need to get rid of more of your fears. So for example, if you're fearful of not having enough money, getting yourself some more money would get rid of that fear and therefore you'd feel more relief. It wouldn't be happiness. I think that's why a lot of people go, oh, when I make loads of money, it didn't make me happy. It's like, no, but you do have a sense of relief in terms of all your bills are always covered and so are your families, you know? So yes, it's important, but I think if you flipping emotions on their heads and working out what the opposite is a really good way to know if you need the other one or not. And I think everything is a yin and yang, and you do need both because it makes you appreciate the other so much more. Like, what would you be relieved about if fear didn't exist?
What could you accomplish if that fear wasn't there?
Yeah. But you wouldn't feel anything about it.
You might not receive the same pride or feeling of accomplishment that maybe you get from overcoming a fear.
Yeah, I mean, if you were never scared about, like, if you're not going to be able to pay your rent and that didn't scare you, it's like, what sort of gap and go do you have? And then when you can afford your rent, it's like, you just wouldn't care because you couldn't feel relief without having previously experienced the fear? Or do you think you can experience relief without feeling fear in the first place?
I would imagine you can experience relief without experiencing fear. Reason saying that is relief can be quite a broad term. So I'm sure you could experience other avenues of relief without experiencing a fear. However, overcoming a fear will give you a huge sense of relief, a huge sense of pride. But I also think it's biting off what you can chew with that fear. If you have a huge fear of spiders and you go walking into Australia, just Australia in general.
Open the door
into Australia
and be in Australia.
This is it. Yeah, that might be too much, and then suddenly the fear gets worse. I think when it comes to challenging a fear, you've got to make it manageable. Like what we've said throughout our podcasts, I think it's Jordan Peterson that says you've got to make challenges that you know you can win. They're hard enough that they're actually still challenges, but easy enough that you know you're going to accomplish them so you can actually overcome them. So that's fear. I think for me, a place that goes hand in hand with fear is gratitude. That's where I'd like to jump to next. So what in your life brings you or makes you feel grateful? What do you have an immense sense of gratitude for?
I mean, literally everything. Like the fact that I can wake up and I'm not in immediate danger. The fact I've got an amazing girlfriend. The fact I can just sit in my very own music studio every day and just make silly YouTube videos online, and that pays the bills. And I can eat out whenever I want, and I can do this podcast with you. Like, all of that stuff's amazing. Like, I was having a look at cars the other day just for fun. I'm like, well, what could I don't think there's a limit on what car I could buy pretty much these days. Like, which is, whoa! But I don't care because I don't really care about cars. It was just vanity. So I'm very grateful for all of that. And even the challenges that come. So I told you I potentially lost a big brand deal. I'm not resentful about that. I'm quite grateful just because I know that I still went through that experience of negotiating, having calls and everything. And that's going to better prepare me for the future on doing other ones. So yeah, just grateful for everything, which I know is like a really wishy-washy answer, but it's just true. It's like that I'm that fortunate. It's like people are, oh, well, you can't be grateful for everything. It's like, well, yeah, because I have no immediate threats. I have no real problems. Like, I'm just absolutely living the best life anyone could live. It's like,
Do you need to be grateful for everything? Do you think it should be something that's a daily practice for everyone? For me, I know when I frame things in a positive way, even something that's deemed to be negative, quote unquote negative, if I try and phrase it in a positive light, then my outcome or my view on that challenge becomes better. For instance, I take my health quite seriously, take training quite seriously, but I had my wisdom teeth out recently, so I couldn't train. Rather than being down on that, I was like, I'm grateful for the rest. I'm grateful for the opportunity to let my body heal and recover, and then I'll come back stronger and train better. Even such small reframings, I could have been like, oh, I'm in so much pain, got an infection, this really hurts. But in reality, it's just choosing that gratitude every day. Yeah. For me, I am grateful for, I think I've said it in the last one, just the people around me in my life. I feel extremely fortunate to have people around me that love and care for me and that I can love and care for. With loneliness being such a challenging issue worldwide, being in an epidemic of that, I feel extremely grateful that I've got people that I know if I called, they would answer and make sure I'm okay. And I can't overstate how important that is.
Mm.
So, what role did gratitude play for you as a child? What role does it play now? And what role do you see it playing as you continue on through your life? Is it the same? Has it changed? Should it change? Tell me.
To be honest, I don't know how this is going to make me sound, but it's just how it was. I think as a kid I felt, maybe not, I don't know. It's a difficult one. When I was a kid, I wasn't as aware of like gratitude as a concept. So as I'm thinking back, I haven't assigned any moments in my life where I was like, oh yeah, I was grateful in that moment, really. Unless it was like birthdays or Christmas. But then as a kid, you're always taught, oh, well, any present you get is equally weighted with how good it is. And you were grateful for all of it. And therefore you're grateful for all of the presents, even socks. Whereas I've literally asked for socks for my birthday. It's like, being an adult is boring as hell. So, yeah, but obviously, I was very privileged in terms of the fact I always had food on the table, always had a roof over my head, always had water, except for when Southern Water cut it off because you're just losers that can't make pipes that don't leak. So I was grateful for those things, but I didn't ever think about the fact that I was grateful for those things, if that makes sense. Whereas now I'm older, it's way easier to just go, oh, nothing in life is a given necessarily.
I agree. As a child, especially growing up in a Western culture, you hear your parents harp on, oh, you should be grateful for this. You should be thankful that you've got this, There's other people around the world that don't have this. I remember in my household, if I didn't eat my food, a common phrase I would hear, it's kids starving in Africa. And as a child, you're
disconnected. You don't understand that.
You don't understand exactly. And you think that this is a given. It's just your normality. So you're like, well, why would I care? But then, like you say, as you get older, you realize more and more what we have and what we should be grateful for. I would agree very much. For me as a child, I probably didn't practice gratitude at all. I also would say that I grew up in a household that was maybe a little bit more negative. Definitely had that negativity bias that, it's always good to be pessimistic. Always good to be pessimistic, because then you can never be let down. I was listening to Mike Israel talk about this. He was like, it's safe to be pessimistic, because if I tell you something's going to go badly and it goes well, oh, look at me, like I guessed wrong, and actually I did really well. Look at me, I'm actually really good. But if I'm pessimistic and something doesn't go well, then I haven't let myself down. I haven't let you down. I told you it was going to go wrong. And again, there was he went on to say, we now perceive realism as optimism because everyone's so fixated on being pessimistic. Whereas now, as you get older, gratitude becomes our daily practice. For me, as an adult, I do find it difficult still, because I think I've been brought up with that internal dialogue to maybe question things, be a little bit more negative, always think about more. What else can I get? So for me, it has to be a daily practice. I really do have to work on it to just be grateful for what I've got, the health that I have, the friends that I have, the family that I have. So, same questions. Does gratitude serve us? Is it an emotion that serves us?
Yeah, I think so. But I also think it's a cerebral practice that may not... So the way I interpret that question is, if we removed gratitude, would we be better off in any avenue of life? And I don't think we would.
Tell me why.
Because maybe another word for gratitude is appreciation. So if you don't appreciate the people you have around you, you're not going to be able to keep them around. And I also think gratitude helps you realize what you really want deep down versus what is more just surface level. For example, if I was to be given a Ferrari, I'd be like, oh, thank you. But really that is the same as just getting me a Corsa. In terms of car, it's like, it's just a car. Like, yes, it would be great fun driving it the first time and the second time. But by week 1.5, it's just, McDonald's rubbish going in the passenger seat. Still got to fill it up with fuel. I'll curb it multiple times.
Gets you from point A to point B the same way.
Exactly. So I think to buy one of those cars, not only would I have to be earning stupid money, I would have to be earning so much stupid money that it genuinely had the same impact on my finances as if I bought a Corsa. It's like, so I'm not there yet. Need to get there. Maybe that could be a goal, but need to donate millions to hospitals and buy myself a house first, and then I'll let myself probably splurge a little bit
and buy me a house.
Yeah, maybe. I think you'll be alright by yourself. I think you'll get there.
I'm literally riding on your coattails, mate. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, that's all good. My coat's a bit dirty though.
Yeah.
Pick it up, coat boy. No, I was talking to Soph yesterday, my girlfriend, about this is a slight tangent, so I might give up on it halfway through, but about people in my life that have what it takes to be self-employed versus not, because I met up with my mum yesterday and she's thinking about going full board into being self-employed, and I was like, I'm not sure if she's like one of these people that are meant to be self-employed. I think she needs somebody constantly telling her what to do, although she's a very independent thinker and skill-wise has what it takes. I don't think she has the belief to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, everyone else, to be honest, my group of friends, they probably individually have what it takes to be self-employed. It's just down to like execution on like, then once you've decided on the thing, doing the thing. I think gratitude and appreciation, we need them because they make other people around us feel good, and that again helps because humans are community-based creatures. And if we were to remove gratitude, would anyone have a sense of purpose in terms of giving gifts to people? Because you can't feel grateful for it. So it's like, yes, this is a Ferrari. Thank you. Oh no, not thank you.
You wouldn't even say
yeah.
thank you, yeah.
This is a Ferrari.
I've gifted you a car. Okay.
Yeah. So you need gratitude and appreciation. What do you think that gratitude serves us?
Absolutely. I would say it is something that we all need to try and practice. And I think there's a huge irony in the people that have so little often practice gratitude the most, because they see what they have and they're just grateful that they can enjoy it the way they do.
Well, they don't have as long a list to remember.
Wow.
Of all the things they're grateful. No, it's true. Have you everything you're grateful for? If you were to go down, like, it'd be over 100 things.
Oh, I've got it in my pocket, mate. I read it every night before I go to bed.
Let's put it out then.
No.
Pull it out, Connor.
It's very
Put it out.
Will. Yeah, I definitely think it serves us, the emotion. I think it's extremely beneficial. I believe choosing gratitude, choosing to look for the positives, innately makes you more positive as a person. Should we explore the emotion, which is my next question? Absolutely. Every day, explore what you are grateful for. Even if it's been the worst day you've had, there's always going to be something you can be grateful for. It may not feel like it, and you definitely will not want to try and explore the emotion. But when you stop, that is when you're really going to suffer, and you're just going to go into that, I was going to say, cave of despair. I like it. I'm going to stick with it. You're going to go into that cave of despair rather than looking at, well, actually, this cave's, at least it's keeping me warm. I've got somewhere to sleep in this cave. That dripping sound from the water's quite rhythmic.
Ambiance.
Exactly. It sets the vibe. Yeah, I definitely think we should explore gratitude more, and I think it's something that's very beneficial for people.
They say that you have 1,000 problems in your life, like you're working, you're stressed about this, that, and the other, and then as soon as you get ill, you've only got one problem. All your other problems go away because you're just focusing on getting better.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have any problems in your life.
Yeah.
The only one that matters is health.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Health. Ty Lopez's health, wealth, love, happiness. It's like you've got to have your health, then sort out your wealth. Don't fall in love. That's a massive error. No, I'm joking. Actually helps you if you have a wife, you earn double the single man at the top ranges, and then if you're married again, you make more money on average than people who aren't married and have kids.
Married again? So married twice?
No, have kids. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So if you're married, you earn more than the person who's not, and if you're married and have kids, you earn more money than the person who's just married, which is really interesting.
And you have more love and care.
Well, it's because you have somebody to do it for. You can't. You need to be pushed and pulled. So you need something pushing you, something that you're running away from, and then you also need something that you run towards that's pulling you in that direction.
No, they did a study. I really need to find these studies because they're in my brain, but they're not. I need to come prepared for them.
Yeah, and then I could put them up on the podcast as well. Yeah, it'd be helpful actually.
They tested rats. They put food at one end, and effectively rats on a, I wouldn't say string, but it's not. There's some way that they can track how strong. Yeah,
like weight.
Exactly.
Scale.
How strong they are at pulling towards that food. If they had food there, they would track, they'd pull pretty hard, really work for it. But if they had pheromones of a threat or a creature that is a threat to the rat, they were pulling 10 times harder because they need to get somewhere, but they also need to get away from something. And it's true, you need that push and that pull. So gratitude, I think, serves us absolutely. And I mentioned about the cave of despair. So we're going to go into sadness. We're going to go into that cave, listen to that drip, and talk about it. When was the last time you felt sad, Will? I like that you've paused for that. That's a very good sign that you go, or maybe you've just completely blocked the emotion. Yeah. I am fine.
Yeah.
Look at me. I am happy all the time.
I'm happy, yeah. Sadness.
I'll let you think.
I've got it.
You got it. I won't let you think.
It wasn't that long ago. It was maybe last week, week before. And get this, there were tears in my eyes. Mental for me.
You're growing. I'm so impressed.
Wow.
Soon you're going to be sobbing at a TV show.
Yeah, no.
Love Island, you're just going to be bawling.
I'll do that anyway. That's the only time I cry. Love Island.
Valid.
Bring back Wes Nelson.
Don't know who that is.
He was the guy that was on Love Island years ago.
I would assume as much.
I took the metaphor too far.
You did.
Yeah, no, I was looking. So when I was a kid, I was in hospital, and I was talking to Soph about it and just making no, because she knows that I was in hospital, but I don't think I've ever really opened up that much about it. So I was just talking to her about it, and then the doctor that saved me, we looked him up and found him, and he's still alive, which is really cool because it means that I might be able to thank him one way or another one day. And yeah, I had his assistant's email address on there. And yeah, he's been doing like neurosurgery for like ever. It's mental. I don't know how he still does it. It's like, I think he's 25 years deep in being an expert neurosurgeon. It's like, what year did he? I think he studied at Harvard, I want to say. He's American. But yeah, just looking at his picture and then reading like the bio about him that's online. Yeah, just maybe. Well, it wasn't so much sadness, I suppose, but I did cry because it was like, I don't know, just very powerful, emotive stuff. So yeah, that was the last time I felt sad. What about you?
What about me?
Tell me about your sadness.
My sadness. Yeah. It's deep.
But keep it short.
Yeah, I'll try. Brutal.
It started when I was 2.
Let me tell you a story, Will. Yeah, sadness. For anyone that knows me well enough, and hey, it's been out there on this podcast before, so I'll do it again. I think the last time that I really experienced a deep sadness, real deep sadness, was the breakup I experienced last year with the girlfriend I was with at the time. That was extremely challenging. That was extremely sad for me. And yeah, it took a lot of inner work and a lot of reflecting to come to terms with the sadness, to accept the sadness, to feel the sadness, because for a long time it was just us maybe on the surface, and I needed to get into the emotion more. Yeah, that was the last time I really experienced sadness, and what I learned from it was that my perception of sadness was that I needed to run away from it. I needed to not feel it. I didn't want to feel it. Why would I feel it if I could feel something else? So whether that be through choosing to consciously not feel it, distracting myself with easy fixes like social media or drugs, or completely blunting it like going to the gym and overtraining, not focusing on eating enough and putting my attention elsewhere. When I was younger, that would have been coping mechanisms to run away from the emotion. I would have very much just not embraced it, not felt it, not cried, not even expressed it outwardly to other people, just carried on, head down, buried my head in the sand, and expect that that emotion would not only dissipate, but wouldn't be stored within me. And the fact of the matter is that emotion did get stored, and it just waited for a more suitable time to be expressed. Whereas now as an adult, I know how to express my sadness. Doesn't make it any easier, but I know how to express my sadness. I know that all of that emotion in there has been stored. And I think the reason that year was so challenging was because I finally was able to touch into that sadness, that pool of emotion that I kept buried for so long. So I was grieving for like a year, but I don't think it was just listed to one thing. It was everything. So now as an adult, I will consciously always tell people to embrace their sadness, feel the emotion, handle it, and move forwards.
What do you reckon the consequences are long term of stuffing down your sadness?
I believe if you're stuffing down your sadness, not only are you going to be damaging yourself because you're going to be stunting your emotional capability to express outwardly and ask for help, help, you're also going to be blunting yourself on the other end of the spectrum. Because for me, happiness is a spectrum, and if you can't allow yourself to feel the sadness side or the negative side, quote unquote negative side, you're not going to be able to feel that positive, because they are yin and yang, and you can't feel one without the other. How are you going to know your happiness if you can't experience your sadness? What was sadness for you as a child? What is it for you now as an adult?
It's the same. I hate losing. I don't lose. Don't do losing. I can't deal with it. Mario Kart last night, Soph beat me twice in a row. I threw my controller. I think I cracked it. Like, I can't deal with that. With losing. Not good at it at all. I'm a winner, and if I don't win, then it's a problem. And I work at it as hard as I can until I win, and then I've won, and then I keep winning, and I don't stop winning.
Do you think that's healthy?
I don't really care.
Why not?
Because I like winning.
But the expense of
everything.
That sounds exhausting. That sounds like a lot of work, man.
So,
what's wrong with being a loser? Losing at Mario Kart.
You've just said it.
That's only because you've got a negative connotation to the word loser. I will quite happily lose at things I don't care about.
No, I can't lose.
Even at things you don't care about?
Yeah. Like, just win stuff.
Just win stuff.
Just win stuff.
That's the quote of the day. Just win stuff.
When we first met,
we
were at S3 Studios, and I was doing flips. Yes. I could just about do a backflip, right? But all the people I was comparing myself to on the internet were doing like mad flips. Whenever we had tricking or flips competitions among ourselves, I'd pretty much always win at the studio that we were at. But you put me up against any of those top people in the world, then I would lose. I actually did quite well. I think I came, well, as a sort of a contradiction if I don't like losing, but I think I came like 19th in the world for trampolining after only doing it for 2 years, which was pretty nuts. I took that as a win because that really was against the best people in the world at the time.
But were you not a loser then?
Yeah, I was, and I did feel it, but I was also like, these people have been doing it for 8 years. I've been doing it for 2. Like, there's a bit of leeway. Like, anyone else that had been doing it 2 years there, I blew out the water. Like, so on an equivalency, I won. But yeah, I put myself in an environment, S3, that I was the winner in that environment. Because if I was surrounded by everyone who was better than me, I was just getting crushed every day, then I'd be a loser every single day.
But does that not provide you with motivation to get better?
It
Surely
does.
You'd rather be a small fish in a big pond than a big
would.
fish in a small pond.
And that's sort of what I've done with YouTube. It's like everyone that's got more, I think there's 1,250 something, 51, 52 people with more subscribers than me in England. That drives me insane. I hate it. I want to be top 100.
Do you know the people in the top 3?
I know the person who's in place 100 in the UK, and that's the person I'm going for, because I'm going for the top 100 in the UK.
Okay.
And that's Anne-Marie, the singer.
You heard it.
Yeah, I'm coming for you with your 10.1 million subs.
Not in a weird way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Also, I really liked her new song that she just put on Instagram, but I didn't appreciate the fact that she used the C word before she started the song. It was just completely unnecessary. She was like, oh, I've just written this and I feel like I'm...
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, that just, was a bit uncalled for. It's like you have a lot of influence over lots of people, a lot of which are going to be children. Don't be using that language, She's a mum as well.
Strange.
I don't know. It's why I don't swear on my channel. As much as I'd love to make, I'd love to bring back reaction videos to the old Sidemen diss tracks. I think that would... Everyone who's my age, maybe a little bit older, will remember those Sidemen diss tracks. And I think we'd probably want to relive it from a nostalgia perspective. So I'd love to make reaction videos to that. Maybe we could do it on this channel. But it's sort of the same problem. I want my kids to be able to watch anything that I put out so that I can say, watch the Will Taylor channel, that's safe for you to watch. Because the internet is a massive place with dark stuff on it. So yeah, I always just make sure that everything's clean, but it does prevent growth.
So being a loser
Sucks.
makes you sad.
Yes. Well, no, angry. Doesn't make me sad.
Why does it make you angry? Is it because
I should have done better. It was lack of preparation.
comparison is the thief of joy, and you're only a loser if you compare yourself to someone else.
Yeah, I lost and it sucked.
But you can be grateful for what you've achieved.
It's
You can be like,
very
you know
difficult.
what? I understand that I'm 1,100 top subscribers in the UK. And I'm super grateful for that. I'm so proud of it. I understand that I've got more to go, but I've achieved so much. And I will continue to achieve so much.
I think the mindset of being satisfied and content is once you've achieved your goal. I'm nowhere near my goal. So for me to sit back in those... Yeah, I could sit back in those videos and be like, yeah, I'm doing so well. Isn't my life lovely? But as soon as I do that, it's like... But I'm then not on a journey anymore. So I'm then more unhappy because I've been like, oh, yeah, no, I've done really well. Like, pat myself on the back. Psychologically, you've lost at that point because you've given up on your journey. You have to... When you're in the journey still... You've got to keep your head down and keep going and feel like you're not enough because you're not where you want to be. Like, I need 10 million subscribers.
I hear you. I do understand, but it's a very tough line to walk. I heard something once that said, why are you comparing yourself to the average? Do you want to be average? And that stuck with me. But it's also such a tough line to walk because on one side, you want to understand that you've done well and you're proud of it. But the other side is you've got more to do, and it's such a tough line to walk, and it can lead to such a negative self-talk because if you're always looking at where you've got to go, you can't be grateful of how far you've come.
No, but it's really easy to just get out of it. Don't want to give you the secret.
Tell me.
So I'm brutally harsh on myself. Like, I've got to get to this 10 million goal. I wake up one morning, I feel done. Then I stop. It's over. It's all over. Wow, look at how much I did. Like, you can go into it at any point.
So like, knowing you can stop at any time.
It's like people overcomplicate it. It's like everything you put yourself through in your life is your fault. So you're the one to change it. If you don't like your job, nobody's changing that for you. Well, unless you get fired or your probation doesn't get completed.
Can't relate.
Yeah, no, because you're good at things.
I'm good at everything.
Yeah, I know. I think that's why I've always hated being employed, because it's just something I've lost at every time.
You're not meant to be employed.
No, I can't do it.
So, with sadness, I've got the question, does the emotion serve us? But I'm going to change it.
Do it.
Does the emotion serve you?
No.
Why?
I have no place for it.
Why?
Because my life isn't that bad, so I don't feel that much sadness anyway.
Why?
Well, because my life just isn't that bad. I can't help that. I don't I genuinely don't feel sad. Like 99.99999% of the time. I think in the last, in my adult life, so 7 years. No, 6 years, almost 7 years. I'm holding on to that last year, please. I'm now in my mid-20s, which is disgusting.
I'm early 30s, so don't worry about it.
No, you're 30. There's a difference.
Yeah, true.
At 31, I'd be like, oh, look at you in your mid.
No, it's getting up there.
You're getting towards your mid-30s.
I've already had my quarter-life crisis. It's fine. I've got to wait till 50 for my midlife crisis, and yes, I will.
50? You think you're living to 100?
Oh, absolutely. Look at me. I'm amazing.
Yeah, your body's a temple. It genuinely is.
Thank you.
Whereas mine is more of like a sewage treatment plant. So I don't really have that much time for sadness, and I don't feel sadness. Like, it's not, I don't hold anything against your sadness if you're listening, but I just don't feel you.
Do you think you should explore the emotion?
Why?
Do you think it would give you a better understanding, more empathy for the world around us, and also more empathy towards yourself?
I don't really care, to be honest. I don't have time for it. I'm working on my stuff. Also, even if I have more empathy for the world, all me feeling that's going to do is actually slow me down. Whereas if I just had blinders on and was going 10x speed towards the goal of actually having enough money to help people, because the whole reason I'm doing this stuff is so that I can pay back the hospital for everything it would have cost them to save me, right? At least. Like, if I dwell on sadness or try and dig up stuff from the past just with the sole purpose of making me sad, like, that's just dumb. Why? Why not just keep my head down and help people? That seems like a more sensible thing to do.
Okay. For me, should we explore the emotion? Yes. But I also think you should explore the emotion with a pinch of salt. What I mean by that, you should explore the emotion in a safe, secure environment, and you can't explore the emotion all the time. So if you have had or are experiencing a prolonged period of sadness or grief, it's really beneficial to look at it in small doses when you feel safe and secure. It's not, in my opinion, beneficial to look at it all the time. Because there's got to be times where you're going to be in it, you're going to feel it, you're going to embrace it, you're going to cry, you're going to let it out, you're going to scream, whatever it might be. There's also got to be times where you do have to just ignore it a little bit, put it to the back of your mind, and then come back to it when you can. That's my thought on the emotion. Is it does serve us, but I think it can also be extremely overwhelming and can derail because it takes over everything. But then again, this is a person that's ignored sadness for a vast amount of their life, so what the f*** do I know? You can bleep that. Bleep. There you go.
I'll just mute it.
You probably mute the whole thing.
Yeah, everything. You'll just turn your mic off.
Yeah.
I haven't even pushed record on it.
Mate, the cameras aren't even on,
Yeah.
so that one's probably stopped. So
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
yeah. Anyway, so that was sadness. What's the opposite of sadness?
The opposite of sad would be happiness, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so joy, exactly.
Joy, joyous, joyfulness,
Joy.
joyficity.
That's it. You found it. Joy. When was the last time you felt joyful? Joyous.
This morning.
When was the last time you felt joy? The old woman.
That's been a while now.
Okay.
Probably 2-3 hours. Years.
Poor joy.
Poor John. Yeah, no, probably this morning because my best mate Connor was coming around. I know, crazy.
Who's that?
Yeah, I know.
Dickhead.
Who even is he? He says his body's like a temple. Mine's like a sewage treatment.
Sounds like a douche, to be honest.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, but on a serious note, like, yeah, things like that make me immensely joyful and happy because it's doing something that I like, hanging out with a mate and filming a podcast, which is like two things that I like doing, hanging out with mates and being productive. And it's building towards a greater goal. So it's like, it's just multi-layered. Got me out of bed in the morning, which is always a good thing. Especially when you sleep through your alarm by an hour and a half. I can't believe I did that.
Clearly needed it.
Yeah, clearly.
Also, you didn't have your pan of chocolate, so that's probably why.
I haven't had my pan of chocolate. I've had my Huel though.
Had
Shout out
your
Huel.
Yeah.
Check out link in the description if you want some Huel. I've put together a little shop for you. You can just buy all the things that I recommend and nothing that Connor recommends.
Because I apparently like the worst flavours.
Chocolate is horrendous. Chocolate and iced latte.
I've never tried ice latte. I don't drink coffees.
Don't do it. It's horrific stuff. But the berry one is really nice and the salted caramel is tremendous.
They're not paying us. Why are we shouting them out? Joy.
Affiliate money. Yeah, it would make me very joyful if you could go and buy Huel.
Wow.
I would have lots of joy if you depart with your money and give it all to Huel, and then they'll give me like 10%.
Yeah.
It's okay. Sorry, viewer.
Me.
Yeah, you. Slash maybe one of my mates. I don't know. Joy, cool. Like, yeah, happiness. Like, I'm content with my life. Like, just happy all the time, basically.
For me, if I don't say this, I'm just going to sound like a dick, aren't I? Because you said you were joyous that I was coming over. If I don't say I was joyful about coming over.
Oh, no, like,
okay,
just because I enjoy something doesn't mean you have
in.
to. In fact, usually if I enjoy something, somebody else isn't.
We're so fun.
Okay, ow.
Yeah, I apologise. Cool, yeah, for me, ironically, it's in the same ballpark of shared connection. So again, that's the big thing we spoke about with joy the first time round, is joy with connection. For me, one of my friends has just had a kid. And recently, I think it was about a week ago, we went for a walk, me, him, and his little girl. And it was awesome, like just two guys going for a walk, looking after this little child, little human. And I really enjoyed it. It's so out of the realm of something for me because I don't know if I want kids. And I'm also terrified because I don't know how to take care of a child.
I still have never changed a nappy. That's the thing I'm dreading most. I don't even like picking up my dog's poo, let alone human poo. Oh. And it's not even solid always as a human, is it? It's babies.
Mine's never solid. But then again, I don't go picking it up. So I got you, didn't it?
Yeah, there's a name for the first poo a baby ever does.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Go on, continue talking. I need to find out what this is.
Ignore what he's doing. Focus purely on me. Look at me. Yeah, connecting with people. I think there's so much joy to be found in connection with people. That's one thing I would say. If people are experiencing loneliness, sadness, anxiety, any one of those sort of negative emotions you found it great will come to you, is connect with those around you. Build that strong connection of people that you love and care for, that you can do something exciting with. You can go out for a walk, you can go do a shared experience, you can go join a club. Connection is incredible. Now tell me about poo.
Meconium is the name of a baby's first poo because it smells so horrific. It can almost be black in colour. Meconium.
Word of the day.
Word of the day.
God damn. So, well, joy.
Joy.
What did you believe joy was as a child? Adolescence? Now? Into the future? Tell me about your journey.
Joy as a child was summer holidays, going to a local park with a really big hill and just riding my BMX down it as fast as possible.
Nice.
That was joy as a child. Then my teenage years, it was probably similar stuff, to be fair, but more like, I don't know, writing songs probably. I've always liked making stuff. Like, I built a multi-story treehouse. Like, not many people have done that. With a balcony, which we now don't have because Mum sold the house. It's sold on the strength of said treehouse as well. Ridiculous. Anyway, who's going to turn it into like a home office? I don't blame him. It'd be a lovely home office. It's dual aspect downstairs, upstairs. It's got a lovely window view of the sea, and it's lovely. Balcony is relatively safe. I didn't nail down one of the balcony things, so if anyone leans on it, they are in the neighbour's garden. But it's all good. I'm not my problem anymore. Yeah, and then joy probably as an adult is just continuously working towards a greater goal, which is growing the YouTube channel to, as I say, be in top 100. The problem is by the time I get to 10 mil, the top 100 will be like 20 mil, 25 mil. It's like, it's going to keep moving, but I've got to just do a better job, basically. But I love that. I think it's because humans are predators, right? Our eyes are in the front of our face, which means that we like to chase something. We're chasers. So if I don't have something to chase, then I get extremely bored. I also think that I'm one of the people that will achieve excellence in my life. And if I don't have almost an infinitely big goal, I would just get bored.
Stagnate.
Yeah. For example, if I was to dedicate all the time and energy that I dedicate to YouTube to accountancy, I would get very bored by the time I got to even CFO of the accountancy firm or like a partner at the account. Like, I'd be bored because like, where do I go now? You've reached the top, and what, you can do that by age 40? You've still got what? At least 50 years, pretty much. But we're probably recommended that we're going to live until we're in our at least 90s, probably. And I'm going to work every day that I'm alive, for sure. So it's like, then what? I'm just stagnate for the next 50 years? No, thanks. I want to do some stuff. Or maybe you get partner by 50 or 60. But even that, you still got 30 years of life that you just stagnate at. So I need something that I'm always working towards. Like a 90-year-old making Mr. Beast videos would just be incredible.
Yeah.
I don't see why I couldn't do it. I've been watching so many videos recently about how YouTubers build out their teams, because it's something that I need to start doing. And I've hired an editor for specific videos. I've just hired one for another one. And providing I can make profit on those videos, I think it's something that I'm going to do more often. I think I'm going to try a slow roll out first. But like those things really bring me joy, because it's like I'm actually doing the thing where I was talking, I need to potentially set up an international business. If you had told me when I was 16 that it would be at the correct financial decision to set up an international business and it wouldn't just be for vanity or fun. It's like 24 CEO of an international business. Like, what the hell? That's mental. Like, I love stuff like that. Gets me so excited. And actually, to be fair, as soon as we get monetized on this channel, we should probably do the same thing. I think it'll cost maybe, well, it's 90 quid a year plus the agency, so maybe say another 100 quid a year. Tops like $300 a year, and you should double our ad revenue, which is mental, because that takes it on this channel probably from like 15 CPM to like a 30 CPM. Definitely something to look into. Like Stephen Bartlett said, he moved to the US, his ad rate's doubled. Like Tricks Music, so it's at least double. So
Chris Williamson moves to the US as well. Yeah. So joy in the pursuit of something.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted.
I love it.
Very excited about my life. You get me talking about things I'm happy about, I'll just fly. Like
I can't wait for the podcast we're going to have of you and YouTube. I can't wait. I'm so excited for it, man. So excited.
Going to be like an 8-hour podcast.
It is. But
I love talking about myself.
We're going to need cameras that actually can record for longer than an hour without stopping. Because we'll look into that.
I might just buy a camera.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go halves. Cool. As a child, for me, I think joy...
We'll get two then.
Yeah, joy came from every day. You know, you find... As a child, you're just encouraged to try everything, do everything, live. Oh, don't do that because it's bad. But I want to do it because it's fun. Everything is fun. Everything's new. Everything's exciting. I think so much joy can come from new things. New is always better. Barney Stinson, legend. But yeah, new things bring us joy, excitement, and something to look forward to. I think as you come through into adolescence, you start to understand where connection comes into it, because you start realizing that people do start growing apart, and that's when you start identifying with maybe more of a club, more of a certain type of people. But I also think there in adolescence, probably more boys, I might be wrong, but that's where you start pushing some boundaries as well, and you start enjoying things that maybe you're told maybe to be a bit more cautious of, you a bit more reckless. And I think joy comes from having that slight rebellious streak. I don't think going full send into it and being completely off the rails is in any way beneficial, but testing the boundaries in adolescence brought me a lot of joy, in the sense that I was very much into sort of extreme sports, and I'd push the boundary because it's that adrenaline that came. And now, into adult life, joy can come from the small things, those small moments where you can create peace. I think peace and joy can coexist with each other, because as an adult you understand how chaotic life can be. But also, I 100% agree, joy comes from the pursuit of a goal. You know, we've said this so many times. Again, you're more of a Hormozy, I'm more of a Mark Manson. But the outcome is 5%. The outcome is minuscule in comparison to the challenge that you've got to face. And if you find joy and love in that challenge, it's going to be such a rewarding experience, and the outcome is almost secondary. Whereas if you just want the outcome, you don't want the hard stuff that comes with it, you know, you want to be able to make £1 million, but you don't want to do the work that's going to come with it, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to want to do it. It's the same reason people quit getting in shape, because they don't enjoy the process of it. They just want the outcome.
That's
Joy,
me.
yeah. Joy comes from the pursuit of something, I believe, as we're older. So, does the emotion serve us well?
Yeah, I think so. You need that underlying sense. When we had the conversation about joy, we were also toying with the idea of it being purpose, and how having a sense of purpose makes you feel more content with your life. So, yes, joy does serve us, because we need that sense of purpose, and we need, I think, a bed of foundational joy to then build the rest of your life on top of. Because if you just have sadness to build your life on top of, or depression, or anxiety, or anger, or anything, like anything you do is going to feel unstable. Whereas joy, I think, is a very stable emotion. It's not euphoria. It's just better than contentment is how I would probably put joy. And then, yeah, you just build the rest of your life. Yeah, I think we need it. It definitely serves us, because it's the positive reinforcement for everything you're doing.
I believe joy and gratitude can almost be like a good North Star for a lot of people, because the difference between happiness is the weather, joy is the climate. And if you can have a climate that is constantly filled with joy and gratitude, how fulfilled are you going to be or feel every day? You're just going to make the world a better place by just existing. How awesome is that?
It's great, I can tell you. I make the world a better place just by existing.
Should we explore the emotion?
Yeah, sure, but not too much.
Why not too much?
You got things to do.
But if joy is coming from a purpose...
Yeah, but still thinking about things that aren't growing your business, for example, is not productive. But maybe as part of a 5-minute meditation, 10-minute meditation, yeah, go for it.
Meditating on purpose, joy, gratitude.
Yeah, and sadness and everything.
Yeah.
If you can condense it just into a 10-minute meditation per day, that's probably the way I'd approach it.
I love it. Very actionable. Very mindful. Very demure. I don't know. That's like some Gen Z.
Demure.
I don't know what it is. But well.
Wow, you are giving off so much aura right now.
I am. I'm in an aura surplus. That's an hour, mate. We've done 4 of them. Yeah,
How?
mate. That's an hour.
Is there going to be a part 3?
Yeah, gonna have to be a part 3.
Damn!
You lucky people.
Damn!
Connor.
Emotions.
Maybe Will. Maybe someone else. But yeah, that's it. Wrap it up with something.
You've been watching Beneath the Noise. Make some noise for Connor and the boys.
Oh, damn. Bars?
Yes.
Well done.